YouTube and Facebook starting last night. Camera's looking great. We went to the black background so we can definitely show you the scores. Jerry McAlanick on, Joe Panko's on. Welcome aboard, everybody. Hope you enjoy the competition here this evening at Lightning. Rick Wilbur on, welcome aboard. Rick Wilbur was mentioning 900 earlier. Rick Wilbur's son John bowled the 34th 900 series a few years back. And of course last week, the young gentleman, Mr. Witherspoon, bowled one at Airport Lanes in Buffalo. And I have been in a few of these centers, not a lot, where 900 was bowled. I've been in Airport, I would say 35 years ago I was there. Was at Westgate Lanes in Brockton. Hakeem Emanuel bowled 900 there in 2015. Was at Airport Lanes in Jackson, Michigan, where they had 900 in the early days, 98 or 99. Also used a purple hammer, the young man, when he did it, a left-hander, with a purple hammer. Shooting 900, that was a long time ago. So I think I've been in at least 3 centers where there has been a 900. I was watching the scores in the U.S. Open today, and obviously they dropped in this second block, and now tomorrow they get the pattern from hell, whatever that thing is. Going to be real interesting watching that. By the looks of the pattern, and again, you don't bowl on paper, but by the looks of the pattern, I do not believe anybody could bowl 1,700 for 8 games on that pattern. That's going to be my prediction. Now, obviously, these guys are the best in the world. I do not say that in any way to knock them. I do not say that in any way to knock the pattern. All I know is, looking at that pattern, it looks virtually impossible for anyone across the house. An average, figure 8 into 100 is what? 5? 8 into 100 is 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 8 times 15, yep. 120, 13, 8, 21, 213 average for 8. I don't think anybody can do that on that pattern. It looks like, when you really stare at it long enough, and you got to stare at it more than once, the more you look at it, the more you say to yourself, there's no magic ball, there's no reps. They've pretty much taken that out of the equation. You're not going to run to the truck and everybody, throw a dull ball with a pin up or a pin down or a certain layout. There's no layout that can conquer that pattern. was thinking myself, as crazy as it sounds, the weakest cover urethane ball with a 500 cover on it, pancake weight block, something that has no no flare, nothing. When the track would be a 1/4 inch wide from the time it laid down to the time it hit the pins, the old style of bowling, rolling it right at the pocket, 0 head belly. In other words, if you lay it down on 10, you got to hit 11. Lay it down on 15, you got to hit 16, and just rope it. But I don't think any of these guys know how to do that because they didn't learn how to bowl on it. How could anybody learn how to do it in 8 games? I mean, they're gifted players, but keep in mind, every single bowler in that event, when that ball touches the lane, regardless of what ball they throw, it goes to the right. The ball does not go to the left. No one on that tour lays it down on 10 and hits 11. That's the game that Ernie Schlegel played, Nelson Burton played, Dick Weber played, Don Carter played, Jimmy Stefanich played, and that game has been gone for a long, long time. And the youth of today, the pros of today, never bowl on that condition, ever. Ever. You don't see it in regionals, you don't see it at the local level, you don't see it in leagues. So, how do you bowl on something you never saw and throw balls you've never thrown and then cross pairs? It could be one of the lowest scoring 8-game blocks in PBA history in the resin era, which came out obviously where all the companies had resin 32 years ago. Except for Hammer, they didn't get it to the early 2000s. So let's say the last 20 years with all the major companies and all the technology, there's never been a pattern out like this. It's really going to be interesting. Of course, we won't see it. I guess it will be on Bowl TV. I don't get Bowl TV. Yeah, 4-out fallback, most definitely, Jerry. Inside, lay it down on 18, hit 18, and let it fall back aboard. Janowitz bowling great. He's our favorite. Janowitz was obviously the pick. A lot of people picked him to dominate the senior tour. But right now he is the only senior in the top 24. Hess is close. And of course Barnes is close. Our own John Rakowski struggling about 30 under after 16 games. Now obviously he's extremely accurate and might, bowl decent on that condition, but he's got to pick up a lot of wood on it because of where he is after 16 games. I don't think he has much of a shot at it. But then again, I hope I'm wrong. I love John. Everybody knows that. And I root for him. But when you're 30 under going into that block tomorrow, good luck. And if you haven't struck on the easy stuff, kind of tough to strike on that thing on. I call it the psychedelic pattern. The psychedelic pattern invented by Larry Lickstein. Al Alm is on. Al, I hope you're doing well, my friend. I was thinking about you, praying for you, and hoping that you beat the problems you have. Been a tough month for pro bowlers, boy. We've lost 5 pros, all legends of the game in the last month, and we're hoping that we can, their families get some comfort. We lost Gary Mage, Tommy Evans, Ski Feremski, John Denton, and Larry Hall out of Iowa. All touring players that bowled the senior tour. Of course, Tommy Evans was the senior bowler of the year in 1995 or 6. A great player in his day. And John Denton, a dear friend of mine out of Midland, Texas. I was very close with John and Ski. Great guys. Gary Mage was a gem of a man. 5 of them in a month. Scary. All right, here we go. Keep in mind, we'll be watching Stouffer tonight, averaging 252. And McNeil is pretty much retired. He does live close to this bowling center in Alva, Florida. I think he's bowled 4 times in this league, and this is the #1 league in Southwest Florida. I think he's got 12 games in. He's pretty much done, you know, now an executive with the Storm Bowling Ball Company out of Utah. I'm feeling good, Al. I got very lucky. A year ago at this time, I had cancer. I've had 2 blood tests since my last treatment on May 3rd. I had 39 radiations, and I had a blood test in July. PSA was 0.04, and one in November, 0.04. So there's no evidence of any cancer in my body. And I have great doctors here in Southwest Florida, and so many people across the country sent me messages and on my live stream, and I think that I'm the luckiest man in the world, and I've said it numerous times. I enjoy my life. I enjoy every day of living. Occasionally there's a day where there's a little stress, where you know you run into the unknown, where something you don't want to happen happens. Like on December 26th, I got in a car accident, damaged terribly a budget rent-a-car when I was in Connecticut. That was not a fun day, the day after Christmas. But I look at it pragmatically and I said, that's nothing compared to living with cancer. They fix cars. They're not skin and bones. Cars don't have families and children. Cars can be replaced. So luckily the insurance company covered me, and I got a $500 deductible. Our Cherubini on. There's the great Stouffer. And McNeil is bowling tonight. There he is, making a rare appearance.
I just left the Greek church. I just left the Greek church.
Looks a little spongy there with the footwork. You know, I watched him so many games. You can tell he's not bowling a lot. Just by that one shot, you can see he looked kind of spongy. Feet didn't look as quick as they normally do. Probably go out and shoot 840. Hi, how you doing?
My name's Ron. I'm from Illinois.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
I used to drill balls right for the tour.
Oh, yeah?
I
was on the road a little bit in my life.
Yeah, I spent. I lived near Landmark Lanes in
Oh, really? Peoria? Oh, I loved it there.
60 miles away, and it was such always a high-scoring house.
I love Landmark. I was there for every True Value Open.
Every True Value.
Oh, yeah.
Years.
I knew Ray Becker and Debbie
Becker
Holmes.
owned it. And Doug Holmes was the manager.
Oh, yeah. Wayne Ragoose, who was a writer for the newspaper there, a wonderful man. Love Peoria. Of course, we were there. It was very cold when we were there. We were there every February. Early March. Oh, boy. That wind started whistling there. You felt it for a week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes, I love Peoria.
So you do this every Wednesday, is that?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, you're here.
Oh, yeah, every week.
So who's here? Are there some pretty good shooters there?
Well, if you want to really watch somebody on 5 and 6 right now, wait a minute. On 7 and 8 is Matt McNeil.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Matt McNeil led
The
the nation.
left-hander.
Yeah, he's got
Sure,
five.
the ABC.
He's got 5 Eagles.
Yeah.
He led the nation in this house last year in average. They presented him his award tonight.
Oh, really?
He's
I wish
bowling
I'd have been
tonight. He's bowling tonight, right down there.
Yeah, well, the kid from...
In fact, there he is. Watch him.
Okay, what's your...
That's McNeil right there.
Yeah. He,
Originally out of Minnesota, he lives here now.
yeah, the kid from Decatur or something had that Carter kid. Was 260.
Oh yes, Jeff Carter.
Some years ago.
Oh yes, oh yes.
That's probably 10 years ago.
Yes. Believe it or not, 22 years ago.
Oh, has it been that long?
Yes.
Time flies.
That record might last forever. If these guys can't beat it now, I don't know who's going to beat
That's
it.
right. I owned a little center for a little while, so I'm
Oh, you did?
familiar.
Good
Had-
for you.
Had
Good.
it 27 years. And that was,
Where at?
It was a little town called Streeter, Illinois.
Streeter.
And it's, you know,
Wow.
they've been to Town and Country in Joliet, the Contos.
Oh
family,
yes,
you know, John and them.
I bowled Town and
George.
Country in '69. In my
Yeah.
rookie year, I bowled it, and Billy Hardwick won there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
full roller.
it was his
Yeah.
7th win of the year.
Okay.
In '69, and I got a check. I'll never forget it.
Absolutely.
And of course, Steffi lives there. The great
Yeah,
Jim
he's still
Stefanich.
alive.
I know he
Ryan
is.
Herner, I don't know if you know that name, but he just passed away up there just recently. But the Contos family are nice.
Yes. Oh yes.
George runs it now, and
Yes.
wife Cindy.
I bowled there when I was 20. I'm 75.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
I got you by a few years, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yep. Town and Country.
It's a good game, man. Town and Country.
Joliet.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the ABC. In fact, I'm third in Illinois now for consecutive. When I go in the end of March,
How many
I'll
you
be
got?
57
You
consecutive.
got 57?
Consecutive.
Wow.
I'll get there.
I want to show you
Denver.
something really nice. Now watch
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
That's Paul Zulke, won the doubles in '97. He's
Okay.
bowling tonight.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
looking
me.
guy,
I won
sure.
all the events in the team. That's McNeil with 5 Eagles. John Rakowski won the team with Rakowski in 2022, or with McNeil. That's Al Thuzzer won the team in '92 out of Reading, and he's bowling tonight.
Oh, okay.
There's 5
That's
Eagle
neat.
winners in this house
That's
tonight.
super.
How's that one?
There's nothing, and I give that Skip, what's his name, Chip, the assistant manager there now.
Yeah.
They put that friggin' gold emblem up instead of the Eagles now. Have you noticed that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they put a gold cup up now.
I didn't
and
know
for
that.
years and years, they took
I-
away.
I did
they
not
took
know
away the
that.
eagle. When you go, do you still bowl?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm done.
Yeah, okay.
If I bowl, I need a stretcher when I'm done. I need an ambulance and a stretcher if I bowl.
No, I know. I walked to the car. I know about that. I just
Hi,
thought
Lou.
that, you know,
The body doesn't handle it
that's
anymore.
right. The mind
so,
is willing, the body will
you know,
cooperate, right?
I love to talk about the game, but I don't want to participate in the game.
Yeah, do you know Bill Spikner, right?
Very well. Grew up
I
with
just-
Bill Spiker.
I just talked to him the other day. They had a deal in Illinois recognizing the 75 people and bowling centers. It was the 75th anniversary of the
Yeah.
Illinois State Bowling
Yeah,
Proprietors.
yeah.
And I was on the board for 20 years or so.
Yeah.
But they recognized the 75 most influential.
Yeah.
And anyway, he was there. We talked.
Oh, yeah. I grew up with Bill Spiker. He's from Hamden, Connecticut.
know.
I started bowling against Billy in '66. We had money matches.
Okay.
And then we traveled the tour together. And then in 1980, he met Barb and moved to Illinois and married Barb. But he lived in Connecticut as a young boy and joined the tour actually full-time in January of '74. And we traveled together that winter in my RV.
Okay.
Me, Billy, and Pete Couture.
Okay.
And Billy's a dear friend of mine, a wonderful, wonderful man, great coach, great writer. He's class act, and his son owns 23 bowling centers
I
now.
got that. I can't
Yeah.
remember. Trice.
Rob Spigner.
Robbie, yeah.
Talking with a gentleman, folks, from Illinois, an ex-proprietor. What is your name again, sir?
Oh, my name is Ron Ramsel.
And you're from Illinois.
Yeah, from Illinois.
And you're a proprietor.
Yeah.
And you live here now.
I winter here.
You winter here.
Yeah.
Now, why would you want to winter here and not live in Illinois? I'm kind of curious.
I'm tired of shoveling snow in my driveway.
And you owned a 28-lane bowl?
Oh no, it's just a 16 lane.
You own a 16-lane set. Well, welcome to Lightning Strikes.
Yeah, it's
Glad to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
My pleasure. Glad you're with us tonight.
Nice to be here.
Well, yeah, we've had several proprietors. What's Greg's last name? From Rome, New York. Bowls here. He owns a 32-laner in Rome, Kingpin Lanes. And he bowled our tournaments this weekend. We've got several proprietors that stay here during the winter and then go back home in the spring, you know, when the weather thaws a little bit.
Well, Spiker told me he's not bowling the ABC anymore because he doesn't want to go below 200 average. And I said,
What do you have, 56 in a row? He had 55 or 6?
He's the same number, but he missed a year.
Oh,
so
okay.
if he'd went, he's got 56.
I got it.
Yeah, but because I said, like you said, I saw him at that dinner, and he said, "No," he said, "I'd rather keep my 200 average." And I says, "Well, a lot of people would like to see you."
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And I'm sure he's up there in the 100,000 pin club.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I guess you got to decide. You want to try to move up the ladder or that, or average 200. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
We're going to go back down here and watch Stouffer tonight. Now, keep in mind, Stouffer bowling against McNeil. It's quite a match. McNeil leading the country last year, and Stouffer leading Southwest Florida this year with 252. And keep in mind, this is match play, 3 games. So 24 points available to win. And don't think for 1 minute Stouffer isn't thinking about that high average. It's got to be in the back of your mind when you get off to a start like this, no matter who you are. I firmly believe when you start to realize you have a chance to lead the United States, it's a great, great challenge, and many people would love to have that challenge. I know in my prime I would have loved it. I never came close to it. But as a kid in league, I averaged 228 in the 68-69 season. That was nowhere near the high average in the country. But then I went on tour and I never bowled a league again for 28 years. Hey, Paul. Wow, looks like he's throwing that half urethane, half whatever that thing is. That new ball that just came out. The Legend, I think it is. Doesn't really hook a lot. Of course, McNeil can bowl with anything. Oops, Stouffer ringing 10. He didn't like that. Again, we're going to be looking for strings now early in tonight's action. I want to thank all of you for joining us this evening. How you doing there, Lou? Joe Panko's on. Steve Tomaselli. It's 17-20 went out while I was on the air here. So bear with me, folks. Just bear with me a moment. See if we can get 17-20 back up. Just hold on. Fine gentleman from Illinois. That was really nice. The gentleman introduced himself to me, and boy, that's so nice when somebody comes up to the booth from another state, comes over and says hello. Just bear with me. We're trying to get 17-20 up. There it is. It's still working. Like me, it's still working somehow. And there's 17-20. There we every once in a while we get a little ghost in the ceiling, and those ghosts have a way about shutting us down. Of course, over the years, the region has had several bowling centers that people have lit up here in Southwest Florida. Steve Caluor, many years at Woodside Lanes in Naples, averaged in the low 240s. We had not seen a 250 average before last year here, but we did see it at Treasure Lanes in Port Charlotte in the 14-15 season when the great Mike Alshire led the United States, averaging 254. Keep in mind, when a bowler does that, gets 100 games of league in, works all day, has a family, wife and kids, a job, they come in at night and they can maintain that number for a league season and lead 1 million bowlers. It is a great feat, and obviously we're a very high-scoring house, but the United States is high-scoring in general. In recent years, there's been more 800s and more 300s than in the history of bowling. So there are very few proprietors that want low scores, and I don't blame them. When you're charging $7, $8 a game and you got a lot of bowlers coming in with a lot of bowling balls, they don't want to average 190 anymore. When I was a kid, believe it or not, you could average 190 and get a PBA card. Then they upped it to 200. But in the beginning, it was 190. Then in the late 60s, it went to 200. And now, I don't think a 200 average would be acceptable, although I don't know how they do it. I don't know all their rules. Maybe it is acceptable. But we are in the highest scoring era in bowling history in the last 25 years, from 2000 to now, with 900s, 800s, 300s. Jeff Carter averaging 261 in Illinois. Obviously, the 25 years before that, from 1975 to 2000 and 1950 to 1975, nowhere near anything like that. And it's just the nature of the game. The environment is owned by the proprietors and the industry. And they want scores, they want bodies and seats. So it should never be knocked and never be ridiculed in any way or form. Bowlers, do what I did. Walk in the bowling center, walk in the front door, get a pair of lanes, and bowl. They're not responsible for the balls, the lane conditions, the patterns, the pins, the racks, the pin setters, the strings. They're not responsible for anything other than being a paying customer. So I'd like to classify it as a high-scoring era where the bowlers just bowl. Your job is to knock over the pins, and if the lanes are easy, go do it. Unfortunately, bowling did not do what golf did. Although golfers today drive the ball farther, what they try to do is keep the scores, at 70 par, 72 par, and they've done a good job of it. But not every sport can control the environment as much as they'd like to. For instance, I like what the Baltimore Orioles did. A few years ago, they moved that fence back 30 feet because of guys like Judge and Stanton, where the Orioles knew they had to beat the Yankees, so they added 30 feet to left field because the Orioles couldn't afford to buy power players like the big teams could, like the Red Sox and the Yankees. And they said that. They said the only way we got a chance is to increase the distance at left field because the majority of baseball hitters were right-handed. And they won the pennant a year or two after they increased the length of the field. They beat the Yankees, led the American League. So, you know, sports and environments have changed all through time, some more than others. And McNeil with an open. Gacero with 6. Let's go down the line here and see what we got. 6 in a row on 13 and 14. Let's see who's doing that. So what's going on, Lou? Everything good? Good, good.
Larry, I got myself pretty good today.
What you do?
Out in the burning, 553.
Yeah. So we got 6 in a row on 13 and 14. I'm going to go down the line here, folks, and see what we've got. 7 and 8, Cacero's got a string. 13 and 14, we got a string. I also saw today George Gohagen just shot his 255th 300 and it's 186th 800. Posted that today on Facebook. And when I was growing up, the record was George Billick against Elvin Mesger in the 60s, some 60 years ago, where it was 24 to 23. Mesger had an 8-lane bowling center in Sullivan, Missouri, and George Billick was out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And they went back and forth against each other in the 60s, and every time one of them bowled 300 would make Bowling Magazine, and you know they would tie, and then somebody would go one game ahead, and then they would get tied again. And then in the 90s, it was Bobby Learn against Jim Johnson Jr. out of Delaware. Both were in the 60s for 300 games back in the 90s. And then something happened after Resin came out. And when Resin came out, the whole world changed. Everybody got a hook, and the scores went through the roof. And we've been in that era now since 1993. So we try to, you know, enjoy the game for what it is. Sports shots are a thing of the past. There's not a league here in Southwest Florida that wants a sports shot. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to work all day, come in and average 180. 47 and 8, we got a string. Let's see who's doing it. Shot there. So Mark Madugno with 6. Coming right up here on lane 48. And this young man here, Mr. Richmond, on 6. Madugno probably will go right up 10-11. Bumps his swing at the top right here, out and right up and at him. See it? Oh yeah. Richmond goes around. Look at that swing. Way out to about 6. And slow hooking it. And we got 2 6-baggers here with Raphael. And there's our league sponsor, Adam Zolke. Iroof. Sponsoring this league along with Oaks Farms. So what else, bro? Larry Stella, you don't like the field cap at the U.S. Open. I don't either, but I look at it this way: it's for pros, anyways. You know, the amateurs don't want to bowl the U.S. Open. I think a lot of them want to go to Vegas and bowl the Masters or Baton Rouge. I do think if they opened up the U.S. Open field, it'd probably have 400 entries, though. You know, but they're not going to go there to bowl a PTQ squad. You know, in other words, for the U.S. Open to work, you got to seed them into the field, and that's not going to happen. At least the way it looks right now. That's an 80-lane bowling center in Indianapolis, and they have a 108-man field. They actually, no, I think it's a 72-lane center, so they got room for 144 a squad, 3 squads, 424. They had room for 420 entries. They had 108, so it's a lot of $500 bills they didn't accept. Imagine 300 entries times $500. Isn't that 1.5 million? That was the success of the high rollers. You know, they've got 2,000 people to come up with $1,000. You know, somebody would take home 200,000. And in fact, that went on, you know, in the 80s, basically, and early 90s, and then that ended. Stouffer's on 7 and 8 with McNeil. Yeah, go down there and watch them guys bowl. You'll love it. All right. DeSera's got the first 8 on 7 and 8. We'll come back and watch him. You know, the scoring, to the best of my knowledge, before Alshire at 254 and McNeil at 253, I don't recall, and I've been living here since 2000, I don't recall anybody averaging over 250, but McNeil, Alshire, and now Stouffer. And as great as this young man is right here, Cross, the most he's got is 245 last year and this year on Tuesday nights. And he is a fantastic player. But that 250 number is quite an accomplishment for a league season. Boy, I'll tell you what. That's a 6-bagger and a double every game. 5-bagger and a 4-bagger, right? 5 spare 4. Oh, 5 spare triple, excuse me. Yeah, we can see the scores real good now. We're trying to clean it up, Ron. We've got a few little things going on. You can see 43, 46 is slanted a little. We were up on a ladder quite a bit today, myself and Mike Quirk, trying to clean some things up, and Wayne Toplin. Sarah's got 9, so we'll be watching him here in the 10th frame. Hello, sweetie pie. And we've got 48 and 44. So we've got 3 300s going into the 8th and 9th frames going here tonight in game 1. That's Al Hultizer, who had 300 earlier this year, who I mentioned with the gentleman from Illinois. Hultizer just turned 70, won the Bowler's Journal doubles twice, and a USBC Eagle in 1992. Hultizer now retired, living in Punta Gorda, Florida. Looks like McNeil is going to lose to Stoffer. Stoffer, keep in mind, he needs, let's see, 753 keeps his average. 757 gets him to 252, and 817 gets him to 253. So obviously he wants to get, into that 53 range. And Medugno now will be coming up for the 9th strike tonight here at Lightning. Again, Medugno, avid bowler many years, him and his wife Elaine. Bowling a couple of nights a week, bowling tournaments on the weekends. And here we go now for number 9. Watch him realign the swing. It's in, and then he bumps it at the top. It comes out right there. Got that in a little. Look at this. Stayed right on it. Right in that oil. Covington leaving the 7-pin. Looks like he got something in his eye. That ain't good. I thought a Hultizer had 8. He's got spare and 7. I missed that. Old age, folks. All right, let's watch Danny. Boy, he got that one in the right. Missed an arrow. Just too much. Fast feet. Swing late. Ball pushed to the right off his hand. Had no chance at the release point. A lot of times you start running. Pick up about a half a mile an hour. You're deep in the oil where he's laying it down around 20. And there's a puddle in there. And you get a little too fast. You're just going to push it. And that's what he did. Heck of a start. Keep in mind the senior tournament this weekend, the seniors bowl 4 games. They cut the field in half. All the pins are dropped. You bowl 2 games, and we have a champion. That's on Sunday. On Saturday, that's Saturday's format. That's Saturday's format. 4 games, cut the field in half, bowl 2 games, we crown a champion. Sunday we added 1 game to the senior 3-gamer. It's now a 4-gamer. Let me get the flyer. Also the same format on Sunday. Bowl 4 games, cut the field in half. So 40 bowlers come in, we take 20. They bowl 2 games, we crown a champion. Saturday and Sunday, the senior 4-gamer and the handicap 4-gamer, both tournaments, same format. $35 entry fee on the senior side Saturday, and on Sunday, on the senior side, Sunday, $35 entry fee, and on Saturday, $40 entry fee. So join us for the action this weekend here at Lightning. Bartle with 7 in a row here on 21. Coming up now in the 8th frame, Bartle. The Medugno split in the 10th, left a 7-9, so he'll be in the 260s. Bartle did get the 8th one, and Medugno did get the first one in the 10th, and then left a 7-9 for 287. So Medugno off to a great start tonight. And let's see on the Stolfer-McNeil match. Stolfer beating McNeil. Look at McNeil's score, 6-2 in the 5th. He strikes there. He beats Stolfer 290 to 279. Stolfer now picking up 19 pins, so he's 252.15 and has a chance to get to 253 if he can pop 817. He's got a heck of a start. Bartle, right? Yep, thank you.
That was a treat to go down there and watch them. They shot 981 and 1020 for the 4 guys.
Oh, yeah.
That Dave that's the anchor man on the other side, an opposite Mad Boy, he's got plenty of hands.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He's averaging
strong.
252.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Right now,
hang in there for the national.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
the
yeah.
high average.
Oh yeah, he's right there.
Yeah, he's pretty strong.
Now, did you know Jeff Carter? Did you met him in your life,
Who's
Jeff
that?
Carter? When he bowled, what do you
Yeah,
got?
sure.
Champagne? Was that Champagne?
Well, somewhere around Decatur.
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 Decatur,
He's
Illinois.
with the Adcocks, if you know Tommy
Oh, I
Adcock.
know Tommy
Well,
Adcock.
his dad was Don Adcock, and
Yeah.
we used to go down there. I used to bowl a lot of tournaments. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
take guys, I'm just
Did you ever go to the Brunswick World Opens when we were in the Glendale Heights in the 70s and 80s?
No, I
That
don't
was
think-
my time there.
Yeah.
I was at every Brunswick World Open from 71 to 96. And I at every PBA stop at Bertrand's in Waukegan from
Bertrand's,
69 to 88.
Yeah, Whitey Cox's
I
40
was a
gamer
Whitey
up there.
Coxer, yeah.
Yeah, bowling that about
George
the time.
Lawrence was wonderful. George and Bob Lawrence were wonderful people. Roy Bertrand, I knew Mr. Bertrand,
yeah.
and his son Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah, long time ago.
We bowled that tournament.
Did you know Billy Bard? The owner
Billy
of
Bard.
Arena Bowl?
Absolutely. He was a
Just
buddy of
passed
mine. Just
away.
passed
He's a great
away.
guy.
Oh, Billy Bard.
His old Cadillacs in the back. He had rare Cadillacs in that bowling alley.
Because we used to go to University of Chicago. I battled cancer. I used to give my parking passes. I always carried stuff. He says, here.
Yeah,
I said, you don't have to go to bed. Anyway, I know Billy.
Billy Bard, wonderful man.
And
Oh yeah.
Bobby Bettler. And
I know Bobby Bettler.
Yeah.
His dad Rudy. Rudy won the Masters.
Yeah.
Or finished second. Either finished second or he won it. Rudy Bettler in the early 50s, a great bowler right after World War
Billy
II.
Bard had Arena Lanes.
Arena Lanes in Oak Lawn.
Oak
Yeah.
Lawn, yeah.
We were there for the 83 and 84 U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Dickinson won in 83, Mark Roth in 84. I worked those events
Yeah, those-
at Arena Bowl 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Seems like yesterday. Yeah, I love the state of Illinois. What a great bowling state.
Not a lot of people go to, now they go to Stardust, I guess.
Oh yeah, Stardust. Yeah, Stardust is big time.
The women go there, I guess.
Did you know Frank Husband? Old
I
River
know,
Grove?
I know the name.
The old River Grove.
Him and Frank,
Yep.
there was brothers.
Yes.
They ran River Grove.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they ran River
I
Grove.
knew the name, but I didn't know.
Yep, yep, they were wonderful people. The husbands.
You know Rich Supanich? Do you know that name? He was an FIQ guy back. He won some gold medals. Oh, I don't know. back
Quite
in the
remember it. I don't
70s, 80s.
I'll tell you who the one was. The best one I saw ever, other than Carmen and Jimmy. Okay, was Alfie Cohen.
Alfie Cohen. I know the name.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw him bowl. He won
Yeah.
4 Eagles in the 50s and 60s. He was great. He was out of Chicago.
My buddy from our little town averaged 205 in 1955.
That was a big
And
number.
that was a nice number.
That was
back
a big
then.
number. Oh yeah.
Yeah. 205 and 55. That was respectable.
Well, Danny Hyam, let me tell you something. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me. I think I had the wrong show on. I'm trying to learn this new program here and I got a little confused. So bear with me, folks. I want to check my phone out here. There we go. Big finish here. Let's go to 35 to 38 before we lose them. The Interstate Battery team now, a bunch of nice guys, a good team. Love having Interstate Batteries sponsor a team here in the league. Stephen Best, oh yeah, looking good. Could put this out for 68. He's got a 32 above him, 500 the first two there. Again, scores high tonight at Lightning. Did you know Mary Strong, who had the Bone Center in Galesburg? Did you know her? She was out of Chicago. She was friends with Pat Bosco.
Yeah, Pat Didi.
Yeah.
She was at this dinner back in November.
You know, Pat was from Windsor, Connecticut. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I grew up with
Then he went to California. Well, he went to Palm Springs.
When I grew up, he managed Bloomfield Bowl in the 60s, and he managed NEMA in the 60s. I was very close with Pat. Knew Pat very well, both leagues with Pat as a kid. And then he became the president of BPAA in Chicago, and he stayed in Illinois, moved out there, I think in the early 80s. But he was originally from Windsor, Connecticut.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was on the board when he was a executive director.
Do you know if he's still alive? Is he still alive?
No, he's passed away.
He did?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I don't know when, but like I said, I sat at the same table with his wife, Dee Dee.
Yes, I knew her. I knew her father, her first husband, Lou. Yeah. I knew Lou. I knew Lou.
They run Western Bowl.
Yes. So Pat did pass away. I'm sorry to hear that. He was a good friend of mine as a kid.
I don't know when. I can't remember when. Gary Handler and Dee Dee.
Excuse me one second.
I heard you talk about cancer. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Second time I beat it. I had prostate, and it was taken out 15 years ago, and it came back.
Oh yeah.
And it thought it traveled, and it didn't.
That's good.
And I had 39 radiations. They got rid of the cancer, but they can't do anything for my hair.
Oh yeah.
My hair is, I'm always going to have this hairdo.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those deals.
It does. I remember standing in the shower and you kind of grab a handful of it. I've been there.
Mine came out long before I had cancer.
Yeah, okay.
I like to make hair jokes. All right, let's check out the scores down the low end here now. McNeil fighting for a win, losing game one against Stouffer. Both teams striking quite a bit here early in the competition.
Yeah, they're back at it.
Oh yeah.
That Dave here, he'll shoot 800 for us.
Oh yeah. He gets 817, he gets to 253. If he gets 817, his average goes to 253. That's what he needs.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, we go to the Winky. Did you used to give that a whirl?
What's that?
The Winky.
I was not allowed because I was a PBA champion.
Okay.
I was banned. They banned us from the Hoinky. And then 2 times in my life, they let us bowl it.
Yeah. So Steve Fair, you knew Steve, right?
Oh, Steve Fair's wonderful, man.
Yeah, he just sold the pro shop to that one guy that has about 50 or 60 pro shops.
Oh, Boulder Smart?
Oh, what's the guy?
McCorvey.
Yeah, McCorvey.
Yeah, oh, he did sell it.
Yeah. We were there. We go there the first weekend in November every year.
Yeah.
And he sold it prior to this year.
Dave Longy's on. Welcome aboard, Dave. Leanne Stewart, thank you for joining us. Art Cherubini, thank you, everybody, for joining the crew tonight. Appreciate all of you. Also, on February 23rd, Lightning Strikes is proud to announce that Paradise Vintage Market will be the sponsor of our Senior Eliminator, adding $125 to first, $75 to second, and a $50 gift certificate to third in that event. They're going to be sponsoring 12 tournaments. In essence, they've come up with $3,000 added money for 12 events starting Sunday, February 23rd. So for you bowlers over the age of 50, and also, as I usually do on this show, I like to promote Joe Poe Grips and their great owner, Jerry and Marianne Panexa, and Joe Poe now sponsoring Sean Rash and EJ Tackett. And am I honored to be with those people to talk about the greatest interchangeable thumb system in the history of bowling. Not only is it great, there's nothing been better since they went to interchangeable thumbs. So for those of you having problems with your interchangeable thumb system, go to Joe Poe. Many bowlers in this league have done it and they love it. McNeil now coming at Stouffer. As you can see, that's going to be a dogfight down there, 270, 260 every game. You get that guys that good on this shot, they're never going to miss the pocket. They really have to throw it bad to miss the pocket. It's just not going to happen. You're talking pure shot makers are usually bowl good on anything. But you give them a shot like this, with a lot of units in the middle and a blend, they're gonna knock them dead. Wayne Bowen watching tonight. Again, truly an honor to have all you with me tonight. This is a very emotional day for me. Like all of us, when we lose somebody, that day comes once a year. And today's the day that I lost my wife. And it has been very touchy for me all day emotionally. Just because of the pain and the loss of somebody that I loved some 32 years ago. Spoke about it this morning with my son Michael. We speak to each other every January 29th. And like all of us that have lost somebody, it's emotional. And it's been a long time, been 32 years, but we never forget Mrs. Ann, that was her name. She loved watching bowling. She was very popular on the PBA tour in the summers in the 70s and 80s. She traveled with me and Michael all across the United States. She had a lot of friends in the world of bowling. And dearly missed. Been a tough month. Had 5 friends pass away. Good friends, too. John Denton, Tommy Evans, Gary Mage, Steve Framsky. Good friends of mine. Excellent bowlers. Men that dedicated their lives to bowling. And, of course, the end of the month, every January, it's one of these days where you hope it comes and goes. You know, you don't want to dwell on it. It's been a long time, but all of us have had it. And all of us will continue to get it. And my friend Stanley Kodish is on. Stanley, I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. Our prayers, all of us here at Lightning Strikes and on our show. I'm all right, Art. You know, I've learned how to live with it, but you don't forget. Nobody forgets. You know, Christmas, you know, I was back there with the kids and went to the cemetery one day, you know, in December, and, you know, I stare at it, and there's my name on it. And it gets emotional for all of us. You know, we've all had it happen. You just pray that somebody doesn't get punished with it. The main thing is that you have to go on. You got to live your life to the fullest. Thank God for what you have. Be grateful for your life. Try not to let it get you down too much. The fact that I'm sober has helped me beyond comprehension. I honestly believe if I was drinking days like today, I don't know if I would have been able to live stream tonight. I've been mad, you know, not thinking right. Instead, sobriety is the gift now. And that's why I say I'm the luckiest man in the world. I can have a bad day and still exist properly. Where before I'd be drinking wine all day and I'd be a mess by nighttime. So that's the good thing. Sobriety. Oh yeah, we all have it. We all get it. Just a question. Yeah. You know, the boss has had a tough month here, our Robert Eddy, and he persists like no one I've ever met. You know, they've got business issues, and he's an inspiration. The man has a work ethic beyond comprehension. He doesn't take any time off. He doesn't take vacations. And he just got the Litchi kiss. And he's not happy because I gave him the kiss. Sorry, Robert. I didn't mean to do it. Now, this game, McNeil is putting it on Stolfert. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Them boys tomorrow morning are going to find out about the real world. And I don't say that to knock them. This, what they're bowling on tomorrow, no one in the world has ever seen. Remember that. What they're going to bowl on tomorrow, I want you to hear my words carefully. Some of you that might not understand it, what they're bowling on tomorrow, they've never seen in their life. So, I took a look at that thing. Absolutely remarkable that it's even out there. But one thing I can tell you, the winner is going to have bowled on it, and that's going to be an accolade that people are never going to forget. Whoever won this U.S. Open won it on a pattern that no one ever saw a day of their lives. No one in this industry has ever seen it. So my hat's off to those people for doing it and having the guts to do it. Really curious about Belmonte on it, Tackett on it, Simonson, Bill O'Neill. Prather. Those guys are, gifted athletes. I'm really curious to see if one of them masters it. I don't see it happening. It's not a knock on their ability. I don't think a bowler is going to break 1,700 on it for 8 games. So I go to the post office this morning, there's Scott Cooper subbing right there on 48. He's subbing at one of the registers at the Palm Beach office. And I'm walking in the lobby and I hear, there's Larry Lickstein, and everybody looks at me. And I look up at Scott. There he is at the cash register. And I had a lost package that I sent to Chicago, and we did a tracer on it. And it's getting there today or tomorrow. There he was, Scott Cooper, taking in the money at the Postal Service. All right, there you go. Now it looks like Stouffer with a spare miss, and McNeil's going to get him in game 2. And on this game, Jake Miller with 7. Come back and check the scores shortly down there. Again, no 300s tonight, which surprised me. The first game, quite a few bowlers had 7, 8, 9 in a row, and no one was able to do it. You know, when we think about my friend John Denton, who we lost a few days ago, he was the first bowler in PBA history in the national format, which was the 56-game event, where you bowled 8 games Monday, 8 games Tuesday, 8 games Wednesday, 16 on 30, 16 on Friday. He was the first bowler in PBA history to bowl 200 every game in the national format. No one did it before 1977. I want you to think about that for a minute. No one, Roth, Holman, Anthony, no one won 56 games of 200 or more. And Denton, who only won 1 PBA title, was the first one to do it in the 70s. Keep in then, by then, Johnson, Ritker, Zahn, Anthony, Weber had 15 titles or more. Billy Hardwick, Stefanich, Salvino. When you think of the great ones of that era, Larry Lobb, Roth, Holman, Sutar, Stefanich, Zahn, Ritker, Petraglia, Dave Davis, none of them ever won 56 straight 200s in the national format. Now, I bowled several. The Showboat every year. I made the finals in 71 and 74, and I didn't bowl 56 straight deuces, and I never did in the 2 U.S. Open finals I made, in the 2 PBA National Championship finals that I made, and in those 4 tournaments, 2 Opens and 2 Nationals, 9th was my low. I had 2/3, a 6th, and a 9th. I never went 56 deuces. That was a tough number back in the old days of bowling. You had rubber balls, plastic, white dots, yellow dots, no trick weight blocks. Now, John Denton was from Midland, Texas, Jeffrey. Was from Midland. And very popular man on the PBA tour. A lot of fun. Yeah, I was thinking today of my dear friends, picturing them as young men bowling in the 70s and 80s. All of us had that same dream, that burning desire to be great, to win, to maybe be a Bowler of the Year or a Bowler's Journal All-American. It was a time in bowling so different than today because of equipment. Most people just carried 4 bowling balls, that was it. And there was no reps. I was the rep for all the companies back in the 70s and 80s until Bill Hall got hired by Dennis Baldwin to work for Hammer. He was the first rep that actually could drill a ball and lay him out. John Jowdy was a rep, but he didn't lay out bowling balls. He was a coach, great coach, but he didn't lay out balls. He didn't know how to drill balls. He left that up to me and my people on the truck. Check out the score here with the Stouffer-McNeil match, and it looks like McNeil's got this one won, and Jake Miller with 8. We're going to stay right here and watch Miller. Stouffer's struggling in game 2, and that average now will drop below 252 with that open frame. So 279, let's say 06, 85. He needs 07, so he's back at 251. That's how fast you can drop it. 1-2-0 game, and that average can drop almost a pin at this time of the year. Devastating. Jake Miller with 9, so we'll come back and watch him shortly. Now, 2 years ago, or last year, excuse me, John Rakoski beat Jake Miller to win the Proprietors Championship here. They had Calcutta with $8,000 for first place in it. And Jake Miller finished second to John. Jake Miller shot 247 and didn't get a sniff. Rakoski gave him a little 279. And that tournament will be coming up shortly down at Moland Woodside, or Headpins Woodside. That's the bowling center down by exit 105, right before you go into Alligator Alley. That bowling center been there many years, hosted the senior tour in the 90s. I was fortunate enough to make back-to-back finals there in 99 and 2000. Finished 12th both years. Johnny Petraglia won both years. Always a good shot at Woodside on the left. At 300 there in 99. The only 300 in the tournament that year. And so the proprietors will be there, and it is on string machines. So that's going to be the first time that this major event in our association will be held on strings, and going to be interesting. Back to 5 through 8. Check out Miller is going to be coming up here second. So McNeil popping 240 to Stouffer's 220. So Stouffer cannot win the game. McNeil making a nice speech with everybody at the start of the show. We're lucky we covered it. My keyboard locked. We did have it on. So I want to thank Matt for the kind words. All of us appreciate it when somebody compliments our owner and our facility. All of our owners, I don't know them all well. I don't know the owners at Port Charlotte, and they all do a great job. All the bowling centers here locally do very well. All have pro shops, good coaching, good junior programs, and we have a very healthy association, a great group of USBC directors. And I'm proud to say that because that's one of the good things about Southwest Florida is, yeah, they're competitors. There's no doubt about it. But everybody holds their head high. They all run great businesses. They're good to their bowlers, good to the junior programs, good to the seniors. It's a very healthy bowling area. And I love saying that. And now we're going to watch Jake Miller. I drilled his first bowling ball for him right at about 20 years ago at Coral Lanes, which is now Bolero. Right around this time, 2005, his mom came in, brought him in. We put about an 8 or 9 pound ball in his hand. He was just a little boy. Turned out to be a heck of a bowler. Watch this game. Beautiful. Look at that shot. That's as good as it gets right there. Pretty cool, too. He's really simmered down. He's got really good focus. You can see by the expression, he's pretty relaxed. Low backswing. Watch how low it is. Right by his hip. Doesn't go past his hip. Hit it! No. Man, was that a good shot. 89. All right. Great game for the young man. What's that?
That's sick the way they throw that ball.
Oh, I know, I know.
Danny down there,
Oh, I know. Some of these guys are unbelievable.
John didn't do that bad that game either.
No.
Anybody come close to 300 yet?
No 300s. In fact, it looked like Jake Miller had a real good shot at it. Really ripped the seventh, but it just didn't carry. Again, score is very high tonight. I'm sure there'll be plenty of 700s, but no perfect games, and that does happen here. I've seen nights where, people shoot 760, 770, but we don't get that magic 300 game. Look at this, we got some strings on 21 and 2. Check this out now, that's interesting right there. We got a chance for 3 bowlers to get out 4 bowlers on 23 and 4. So look at this, 21 and 23 and 22. It's amazing how that happens. You see a couple of good pairs and they just knock them dead. Cross with a messenger. And Bartle, check it out. 4 bowlers with 6 in a row, or 3, and 1 with 7. And we don't have to move the cameras much there. I like that. We'll come back, take a quick peek here. Stouffer did put it out for 26, so he gets it over 500, which is going to keep that average now right at 252. Maybe a pin or 2 under, 251.90. McNeil beating them with 48. And Stouffer striking it out. So we'll come back and watch him in a little bit. Here on a big evening here at Lightning. This is week 20. Keep in mind, we will be going into May. The senior tour will be here in May, but they do not bowl in the evenings. So we don't plan on missing the Tuesdays and Wednesdays in May, where the senior tour will be here. So we will be bowling Oaks Farms, Iroof. We hope the leagues will start at 7. Obviously, we got to oil the lanes. We're going to probably use 2 lane machines to try and get the lanes done quicker. It shouldn't be too bad. The second they're done bowling, seniors will be out there. Chris P will be out there with his crew. So Chris P went through this before for 4 years, where we had the leagues and then come on after the seniors were done. So we'll be planning that, that's for sure. Now we'll watch Neil Cross and his son, both on strings here. Neil Cross and Keith Cross, formerly out of Flint, Michigan. Oh, yeah. Well, the father ain't got the son's rev rate, but I don't think the son's got the father's accuracy. But they're going to love that one. Hit it. Davion with a rip at the 10. Oh, destroyed that 10. See, that high rev rate at 480 off his hand is going to do that. You're going to see the 10-pin dance on those half-pocket hits. So now Matt Bartle will be coming up for 7 in a row. It's the first time in a while that I've seen a pair of lanes, if he can get this next one, with 3 bowlers out of 8 with the first 7. That's big numbers right there. Let's see if Bartle can carry on this shot. Hit it. No. See, that's 6. Yeah. Weak hit. All right. 2 left.
The two-hander down there, McNeil had the 289.
Yeah.
He's the only two-hander down there.
Yeah. Jake Miller. Of course, an interesting statistic as far as majors go, and maybe Larry Stella would know this. I'm wondering if, I think I'm right, but I might not be. I'm wondering if, I believe Dick Weber did win the All-Star, which was the U.S. Open, and we know Petey Weber won it. Obviously, they're the only father and sons to ever win the U.S. Open. And I believe I'm correct. I think Weber did win one in the 60s. Again, I don't have any record books. I do have a record book in my car. I'm going to go check it out and bring it in for Saturday. But Pete Weber and Dick Weber, the only father and sons to win the U.S. Open. This goes to show you, considering 80 years of that event, no father and sons. And now that we have Ryan Barnes bowling, you never know. The kid looks, very composed. Got great parents. I'm talking off the lanes. They brought him up right. There's no doubt about it. And he's a very nice young man, very well respected in the bowling community. So hopefully he might have a shot at it someday. Wouldn't that be nice? See him win and put his name down with the Webers. All right. Dustin Valentin now coming up. Only the Webers. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, that's to this day, when you think of the great bowlers in this country, father and sons, and there were many. Don Johnson, the Cunes, Bill Johnson, his son Randy, Pat and Gary Patterson, Lee Taylor and his son. And many others. Only the Webbers. Yep, see that ball break late? Really decent shot, too. I mean, the ball looks flush, but it's about a half a board to the right of solid. And if you don't have the high rev, in this house, that 6-pin will Velcro to that flat gutter like glue. So now, nobody got to the 8th one. Interestingly enough, 4 bowlers had 7, and no one got to the 8th one. So I don't. What do you think on Keith Cross' chances are? His dad didn't do it, Bartle didn't do it, and Davion Swiney didn't do it. Here he comes up. And he didn't do it. And when he leaves a 10, you know that's rare. Look at that. That 6 is that last pin right there. The sweep's going to knock it out. Unbelievable. All of them left 10 pins. Yep, there's a 7. I better keep the camera off these guys, or no one's going to strike.
Enjoyed our chat. We'll come back and see you
All right,
again.
thank you, sir. Pleasure meeting you.
Take care.
Thank you so much. I was talking with a gentleman who was a bowling proprietor from a small town in Illinois who knew a lot of the same people I knew, and really a nice gentleman. And naturally, he'd rather be here than in Illinois. At least till May, anyways. Dorian, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, bro. Keep getting some sleep, chicken soup, and shake that thing. Now there's the leader in the league right there, Tchaikovsky. Now keep in mind, struggling tonight, but about 3 months ago he had 34 strikes, 2 7-pins for 859, 279, 280, 300. And that's about as good as it's going to get. Now you could bowl 898 with 34 strikes, or 898 with 34 strikes. The most you can bowl with 34 strikes is 898, 299, 299, 300. So he had 34 strikes, but he lost wood because he didn't get the 9 drops on the fill balls in the 10th. So Joe Panko, my buddy, wanted to say hello to you. For all you guys that are watching, there he is, the great Lou Rinaldi. It's my buddy Lou. Lou's watching me tonight. Wants to make sure I don't screw up. Lou and I are going to have a little lesson after this league is over. Normally I don't give lessons on a Wednesday night, but I'm going tomorrow over to Vero Beach, and Lou has a day off, so I said let's do it tonight. So I'm going to help Lou out. Plus he's from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, so I have no choice. Did you graduate with Jerry O'Connell?
Yeah.
You know, I'm supposed to see him tomorrow, you know.
Tell him I said hello.
He lives in Vero.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I might call him up for lunch if I have time.
Tell him I said hello. I'm back next weekend.
I like Vero. I like Vero Beach.
Well, I live in the next county.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
If you like beer, you like St. Lucie.
Mary Berner, are you just chilling in Webster, Mary? Mary, I'm just chilling here. Mary. And yeah, I'm taking a ride over tomorrow morning to a lady's house in Vero Beach that has the same RV that I'm restoring. That's been sitting in her backyard for 10 years and it's sunk a foot in sand. But I can go into it and take anything I want. I went last week and raided it. And I'm going tomorrow morning to finish the raid. And I'm going to take everything I can possibly take before it goes to the junkyard. David Covington having a big night. Now, he had a big game one, so he looks real good tonight. David Covington, one of our gifted junior league coaches here. Cindy Snyder, Book Snyder, David, Ron Richards, Tanya Richards, Sue Covington, Bobby. Just a nice group of people, very dedicated to the junior program here at Lightning Strikes. Greg Lindsay, I mention them every show because we have a junior program here with over 100 kids bowling on Saturday mornings, and those coaches love those kids. The kids love the coaches. The parents love the coaches. And it's very high intensity. When you walk in the building, you feel it immediately with the parents watching the kids and watching the coaches. There's a lot of support for the coaches from the parents and our owner, who has made sure that those kids get really taken care of. There's 10 junior league coaches. And I really appreciate the job they've done, all of them. Just wonderful. Covington throwing the ball great tonight. Covington with 269. I think he went 279, 269. Stella wants a trivia question. Okay. I got a trivia question for Larry Stella. This will be a tough one. Who was the first bowler to win the U.S. Open twice? Not the All-Star. The U.S. Open starting in '71. Who was the first bowler to win the U.S. Open twice? And Larry Stellis is Marshall Holman, and he is correct. 1981 and 1985. Now, here's a tough one for you. We know the Webbers won the U.S. Open. Name the bowlers, father and son, that have the next highest finishes in the U.S. Open. That means a first, a second, a first, a third, a second, a third, etc., etc. Name the father and son with the next two highest finishes behind the Webbers. And Stella says Barnes, no. No. I can't believe Stella didn't get it. That's a first. I cannot believe Stella didn't get it. And no one else has said anything. No, not the Johnsons. And not the McCunes. And when you hear the names, you're going to go, oh, I forgot. The Troops. Kyle Troop won it in 1984. He left a 4-pin to lose to Mark Roth. Guppy was second to Mark Roth in 84, and Kyle Troop won it. How's that one? So the son won, and the father had a second. Very interesting statistic there. And what's more interesting about it is, did Kyle win last year? If he did, it was 40 years to the year that his father finished second. I think Kyle was the winner last year, if I'm not mistaken. 40 years earlier, his dad bowled the great Mark Roth. Unbelievable. And let's check out Stouffer and McNeil and see what they got going on. And it looks like Stouffer is reacting negatively to getting beat by McNeil. Now keep in mind, he goes 279, wins game 1 to 252. Game 2, McNeil goes 248, 226. And this game, Stouffer is already down 20. So it looks like a little chink in the armor with Stouffer here. All of a sudden, some mistakes, and McNeil just being McNeil. Guppy used a 3-dotter. That might have been the last time a hard rubber ball bowled for a title. The lane's really hooked, and Guppy could yank 7 as good as anybody in the world. Just pipe it right up. Sarah with a big string again. Had the big string the first game. Did a little fishing the second game. Couldn't get quite lined up. It looks like he's hot again in game 3. We'll come back and watch them in a little bit. Andrew Bergens is on. And Larry Stella is saying, when was Guppy Troop's last show? Well, last year. He He's on TV all the time. Guppy and I are less than a year apart in age, and when he got hot in the middle 70s, he had a record in the southern region where he dominated the southern region in PBA regionals and had a large lead over all the bowlers in the south when it came to tournament wins, and was also devastating. I mean, devastating when you put him around 4 to 8, 4 to 9, up and at him from out. With an LT 48, he was that was his wheelhouse. He had an LT 48. It looked like it went through a cement mixer. It was beat up, the thumb was chipped, the fingers were chipped, and somehow he was able to throw it for many years, and it rumbled. It was out of round, you could hear it rumbling, but it never missed a pocket. And he would try to duplicate it. You know, he'd come out to the truck and want us to duplicate the weights and the grip and the holes and everything else. And the finger grips were so chewed up in there, the finger holes and the thumb was chewed up from ball damage. But he always bowled with it. We used to laugh because you couldn't duplicate it. He'd say, duplicate this ball, Litchie, and I'd laugh. Yeah, sure, you duplicate it. And everybody would start laughing. You couldn't duplicate it because we didn't allow plugging, number one. And number two, he didn't use grips. So those holes were just chewed up from him using it week after week after week. The ball was scuffed, ball damage on it, dents, scratches. I mean, it looked like it'd been thrown in a parking lot. And he used that ball for years on a tour in the 70s. He's on the veterans ballot again this year. Last year, Steve Jarros got in. There's a lot of guys that bowled great that didn't have the credentials for the PBA Hall of Fame, so they started a new division. For instance, the great Andy Marzic from LA won 6 times. So did George Howard. So did Ricky Ward. So did Guppy. All those guys didn't get to 10, so they were not eligible, and PBA formed a new division. Steve Neff's in on it now. Ricky, George Howard, Andy Marzic, a few others that really had good records, but just not enough to get on the ballot. Be interesting to watch that. And Stouffer obviously fighting to carry. And this might be the first time in a while that he doesn't break 700, and that average has to take a hit now. He's got a double and an open, so he's lost 1 pin in count, 2 pins in count. No, 4 I see. So he's in trouble. Donnie Schwartz. Oh yeah, that looked good there. All right, we'll come back in a moment.
I still up?
Yes. Yes. Not bad. We'll take it. It's not 100%, but I guess it's off shifted a little, but that's okay. It's still up. I'll get it Saturday morning.
Yeah, I'll be up before Charlotte.
Yeah, I'll fool with it.
Senior tournament up there.
Yeah, it's pretty crooked, but I can get it. I can fix it. This one's a little cockeyed. We need to do a little work on it Saturday, but it is working. And we'll fool with it. It looks like about 760, 770 Joe tonight. The score's a little lower. Obviously, McNeil bowled. Huh?
Martin shot, I think 803.
And Lou Martin had 803 tonight. Well, let's get Lou Martin in here. Let's get Lou Martin in. Got a little interview coming up with one of our guys, Lou Martin, on 25 and 6 with 803. We're going to get Lou in here for a little rundown. Yeah.
That's it right there, brother.
Yeah, I want to get him in here. Lou. Come on, sit with me, Lou. All right, we got Lou Martin coming into the booth. A nice set tonight, little 803 Adam, and feel good about 800?
Yeah, 2 in the last 6 months, I think.
2.
Something like that.
Now, of course, you shot 279 to bowl 800.
Yes.
Did you know you needed 279?
Yeah,
And you did it anyway.
I did.
Wow, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It is good. You know, normally when you get them early and you shoot 220, you know, a little different when you need 270.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, 25 and 6, both lanes different?
Yeah, 25 hooks a ton more.
Yes, yeah, it always does. I say that on every show.
Yeah.
You know, they start off pretty much the same, and within a half a game, all of a sudden, it's like, what happened?
Yeah, it's less than 6 frames, and you're about
Yeah.
5 or 6.
Isn't that amazing? They start off the same, but they break down so different, it's not even funny.
Very much so.
And they're both oiled identical.
Yeah,
Hard to believe.
it is.
Now, what is your high 3 games?
I think it was 807.
807.
Yeah.
Now, are you aware that you set the ball down behind the foul line?
Yeah.
Is that intentional, or is that the way you bowl?
No, it's not intentional. The next thing that I get to work on over the next couple of months is getting
Yeah.
closer to the foul line.
Yeah, but you got to get closer to it, and somehow change the plane and swing a little bit with the hips, just to catch that much. You don't need a lot.
Yeah.
But you're one of the few bowlers in here that does that bowls well. I've commented on that a number of times. I'm not against it. Obviously, it worked great tonight.
Yeah.
But I often say those balls aren't designed to land in the dry area. They're designed to land in the oil and store energy. But you're good at it.
Yeah.
You know, you can repeat doing it.
I just try to roll it.
Yeah.
Whenever I get grabby with it, it hooks early. And
Yeah.
I think the only reason I get the ball down the lane is when I roll it.
Well, congratulations on a good set.
Thank you.
Keep up the nice bowling.
I appreciate it.
All righty, Lou Martin. Now let's get back to the action here at Lightning Strikes. Yeah, I'm not one for setting the ball down in the dirt, but a lot of people do that here. And Lou is good at it, but I honestly believe it will catch up to you when you're laying the ball up before the oil. I don't believe that you can do as many things with the ball as you could if you got it out on the oil. Hand positions would definitely be a benefit, but they're not a benefit if you land it in the dirt because the ball jerks up into a different position immediately. So the weight block is in a different position, literally at its bearing point, which is very rare. On the other hand, the young man's good at it, and I always say, it's not how, it's how many, and he did it tonight, averaging over 267 for 3 games.
Thanks, Larry.
All righty.
Bad part of trying to get through here.
Joe Panko called 8:06 for tonight's action, so pretty good call there. Joey DePank now booking the action here at Lightning Strikes. I like it. Stouffer right at 700, so he lost a pin tonight in average. Amazing. Started off with 279 and lost a pin in average, needing 756 to keep his average. And he went 79.26, which is 05. And then the last game, 15.720. So he's didn't lose a pin, about half a pin. Scores very high tonight on 23 and 4. Several bowlers with strings all night long. has a chance for a monster night here. I believe he went 79-69 the first two. How about Covington, Ron? Covington's got a big number tonight. Covington's got a shot for a big 800. I think so. He got about 820 to 830 in the wood. Yeah. Yeah. We might be getting Dave Covington in here tonight. Looks like he's got a big one coming. Again, we want to thank all of you. We'll be on the air Saturday quarter one, Sunday quarter one here at Lightning for our 2 weekend events. So for all of you who want to come in and do a little tournament bowling, come and join us. Check-in starts at 11:30. We bowl at 1. We've got very nice tournament schedule this weekend. Both identical formats. One is an open format, one is for the seniors. And again, February 23rd, the initial Paradise Vintage Market, their first tournament as sponsors, adding $250, prize fund $200 in cash and a $50 gift certificate for a product at Paradise Vintage. They have 500,000 items in Paradise Vintage Market, 180 booths, right over the bridge in Fort Myers, going north on 41. Kidney Plaza, right there between Pondella and Hancock. Wonderful place to go shopping. And just, I plan on going in there possibly Friday to buy a few things for my RV I'm looking for. David now. David Covington, definitely with a chance for 800 tonight. We're going to be keeping our eye on that. Martin with 8:05, and I believe Covington can go around that. I believe he's got 79 and 69 the first two. So he needs this one to stay alive. That's a good shot there. Watch this one. Hit it. Just hung a little bit. So he can go 58 and 69 is 27 and 69 is 95. No, I think he's a little short now. I don't think he's got enough room. Watch Al Haltager, formerly out of Reading. Watch his touch at the age of 70. Watch the follow through. Oops. Pinch that one a little. Oh, he got a break. Still got that touch. Normally, he really follows through to the right. He's changed something because of that angle he's playing. That follow through was straightforward. Let's see if it's intentional. You know how we'll know, don't you? Because if it goes in the same place, we'll know. Yep, did go in the same place. Look at that. All right. Pinched it a little. Good game. 262 clean with a 6-count spare in the third and a 7 on the filler. Not bad for a man 70 years old, huh? He still got it. Wonderful man.
Good guess. Good guess.
There was a big string there on 24, and it looks like, check that out, that was a 9-bagger, and I missed that. Look at that game. Right there for the young man. Wow. That's a big game for him. Oh, that's Cody. Cody bowling very well. Won one of our events about a year ago. Young man in his second year of junior leagues. Nice kid. In his interview, told me he wanted to be a plumber. That he was going to school to be a plumber and going to trade school for it. Gosby bowling good tonight. Boy, that's the best I've seen him score in a long time. Nice to see that for him. Really nice man. Tile installer by trade. Does great work. Formerly from Hawaii. Covington with 806. Let's get him in here if he did that. Let's check it out and see if he got an 806 or if he puts it out. Yes, if he gets that, Kevin, we'll take the 79.69. Yeah, okay. Yep, 806 if he can double. Well, that pair of lanes is really hooking. Like to see Covington put it out for 8. We'll get him in the booth. Keep in mind, this is week 20. Now remember, there's 4 9-week segments. 2 teams have already won. The top 4 teams, each team that won a segment will be seeded 1, 2, 3, or 4 based on their year-to-date points. So, the 4 teams each win a 9-week segment. The team with the best won and lost record for the year will be seeded number 1. Then 5 through 9 will be 5 more teams that did not win a segment year-to-date points. And then there will be match play where 9 will bowl 8.
Once again, you'll be taking a lower key cross by 21-22.
8 will bowl 7, and down the line, $15,000 added to the prize fund by Oaks Farms, Iroof. Again, Oaks Farms now in its 6th year here is nearing $100,000 in added money to this league, and we want to thank Alfie Oaks and Robert Eddy, all the people at Seed to Table and Oaks Farms for believing in bowling and really coming up with a lot of money that they did not have to do, and they did every year, which really gave this center some prestige. And other teams and leagues came here, and we ended up getting Audi, the Gogan League, and now it's possible for 2 more sponsors coming aboard. Well, we might have sponsors every night of the week here. And a lot of hard work, but it's going to happen. Very dedicated team here of veterans. Let's go back and watch the finish now for Covington. He needs a double for 800. 1 and 9, he'll miss with 795. He gets the first 1 and 9, so he does need a double. There's so many good bowlers in the league that don't get mentioned. Prime example, Lou Martin. Lou Martin, beautiful game. You don't think of him as, Stouffer or McNeil or, Keith Cross, but yet that young man on any given night has the skill level to beat them. There's no question about it. He is a very good bowler. and it's not lucky. 800 is very predictable with him. And of course, David Covington's a prime example of a sleeper. There's a man, in his 60s that when he's right, he can beat anybody in here. And a prime example is his 2 games are 279, 269, and he's shooting 258. He's lost 4 pins and count tonight. 4 pins. 2 pins in games 1 and 2, and 2 pins this game. So he's been in the pocket every ball. It's either been strike or 9 drop, as you can see. And this is nothing new. He's been doing this for over 40 years here in the state of Florida, learning how to bowl in Miami. I met Dave when he bowled out of Carter's and bowled a tour many years ago. Always threw the ball great. Harry. No. Look at that shot. I mean, that's as good as it gets off the hand. That 6 hits the wall, goes right around the 10, doesn't lay in the flat gutter. The 10 doesn't move, and it'll probably strike on the fill ball for 238 with 3 9 drops. Double 9, 4-bagger, 9 strike 9. Game could easily have been 269, 279. I mean, lived in the pocket all night, so he'll go 38. About 787. Yeah. .786 with a count. And look at Raphael beating him. Raphael beating him. And he cannot beat him for series. Rafael Augusto is really bowling better as a young man the last year or so, coming around, starting to get it. Well, that's all you can do is just pure every shot. 29-26. Nice finish for both bowlers. Well, thank you, Rick Wilbur. As usual, love having you aboard. Kevin Pardue, Jeremy Jones, welcome. Leanne Stewart, welcome. Thank you for tuning us in tonight. Again, another great evening for bowling here in Southwest Florida in this great league. In its 6th year, week 20, 16 weeks to go. Then the roll-offs. This league is going to definitely run into the last week of May and maybe the first week of June with all the match play roll-offs. I don't know exactly the format. I will talk to Keith Cross about that. 9 teams are going to make the roll-off. And they're obviously not going to just bowl one night and then another night, then another night. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of eliminations over a 1 or 2 week period, maybe 3 week period. I'll find out for all of you, give you the details. All right, Art Cherubini, thank you, sir. Hi, Murillo. How you doing, Murillo? Nice to see you, Murillo. All right, Murillo, doing all right, man. Talking to Dr. Lima. Murillo Lima, wonderful young man, a physician that bowls in our league.
You're on delay.
How about?
You're still talking.
Oh yeah, this is right.
Thank you for Saturday.
My pleasure. Thank you.
let me know
Hey,
what you
how
think
are
about
you? How you doing? Nice to see you. How you been?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. Good to see you. Been a
like that.
while. How's the family? Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Good to see you.
Text me and let me know what you think about it.
I will.
Those are good. I'm telling
looking
you.
forward. Close match here with RPM. Look, they're about a pin apart with 24-20. Oh, yeah. Very close match here. So this is a 10th frame match. We're going to get team points are the key here. So try and get that team point number. That's the team total number. And Joe Smith slams a 10. And the other guy rips a rack. So now what a Big Ten pin that was for Smith. You know, and it's so early in this third 9-week segment that, you know, what they want to try and do is sneak a win out. And a lot of times, a lower handicap or a lower average team with some good handicap can get hot and make a move. And that team's capable of it. But as you can see, they're not going to win team, and this is where they're supposed to win it. They're better bowlers on their team, especially with Rob Bukash and Danny Gould. Those guys there can bowl very well, and they're losing team total, and this is that team there is the one they want to beat. Danny with a big game, still win the team. What they got to look for now is a double to a miss twice. Double to a miss twice. They've got to get an open frame here. And that's what happens. These are the teams you got to beat. Look, the team is striking out on him. I don't believe it. So Smith slams the 10. The other guy doubles. And again, that's when you know things are going bad. The other guy's got no strikes the whole game. He got one strike. He strikes out in the 9th and 10th, and Smith slams the 10. And on this one here, Gould slams a 4-9 on a strike. You can just see it. It's amazing how that happens. Watch if he doubles. No, he didn't double. So let's see if it's still in the wood. It is still in the wood. But now it's a double to a miss for the bottom two bowlers on the RPM team. They've got to strike and hope their opponent's open. Now the first bowler kills him. Smith leaves a ring in 10. There's a gentleman, doesn't strike, gets a second strike in the 9th, picks up 20 in the 10th. If he opens in the 10th, they win the game or win a team series. RPM wins team series if that gentleman opens the 10th instead of strikes. So they're one ball away, and they got a break there. So now they cannot win. It was double to a miss twice, and that's where you start to question yourself on the way home. And actually, it's a 10 pin, so they're out of luck. And boy, that makes it for a long ride home. It really does. Yeah. And then team doubles to beat them. When that would happen to me in the league, I'd go crazy. You know, we were a better team, and no matter who we bowled, they always found a way to beat us. And that is part of the sport, whether we like it or not. Cross finishing big, and they had a big last game here. Look at this on 21-2, what they got. And they're 47-35, 56-22. That's a big score. It's a 960. But they lose team series. Look at that. 31-51 to 29-36. So that team right next to them bombed them. With Chris Legaspi on there having a heck of a night. What do you got?
That guy gave him a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to get him a lesson.
All right. Full Saturday and Sunday. The next time I can do it is next Tuesday, 4 to 5. Let me give you my phone number. Right. 4 to 5. 239-645-2308. Have him call me, and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right. All right, let's get a pair of lanes. Let's get 25 and 6.
Have a good week.
All right. 25 and 6. Yeah. Oh yeah. Louis. All right, folks, we're going to call it a night. We're going to give it a call it a night here at Lightning. I want to thank all of you for being with us again. We will be on the air Saturday and Sunday at 1:45 with our 2 tournaments. So join us, please. On behalf of Robert, Eddie, and all our staff, I want to thank you all for joining us this evening. And as usual, good luck and good bowling.
Oh, yeah.
Did you pay your tithe?
Yes, I did.